The moment his fingers brushed the small of my back. Not as a therapist, but as a man claiming territory. I knew my world had tilted off its axis. Sweat beaded on my skin. Not from the heat of the room, but from the fire igniting under it. And I bit my lip to stifle a gasp that would betray everything I'd buried deep inside. In that New York spa, hidden behind frosted glass doors on a rainy autumn afternoon, Alex didn't just cross a linena, he shattered it, leaving me exposed, aching, and utterly alive for the first time in years. I was 28. Nathan Hayes, a graphic designer scraping by in a cramped Brooklyn walk-up. The kind where the walls whispered secrets from neighbors you'd never meet. Life had become a grind of deadlines and double shifts at a coffee shop to pay the rent. My body a knot of tension from hunching over screens and dodging the ghosts of my conservative Texas upbringing. I'd always known I was gay, felt it like a secret bruise since high school, but coming out. That was a luxury for people without a Bible-thumping dad who still sent passive-aggressive texts about finding a nice girl. So I dated women in fits and starts. Brief and passionless flings that left me hollow. Until the exhaustion caught up. My back screamed for relief. Shoulders locked like they were holding up the weight of unspoken truths. That's when I booked the massage on a whim. Scrolling through Yelp reviews late one night. Drawn to Alex's profile photo, those steady eyes. That easy smile promising more than just muscle work. The spa was in Chelsea. A sanctuary of bamboo screens and lavender haze. Far from the chaos of the city streets. I arrived early. Heart pounding like I'd shown up for a blind date instead of a 60-minute session. The receptionist, a bubbly woman with a nose ring, handed me a robe and pointed me to the changing room. Stripping down felt ritualistic. Vulnerable, slipping out of jeans and tee. Folding them neatly as if order could armor me against whatever waited. I lay on the table, face in the cradle, the sheet draped just low enough to cover the essentials, and closed my eyes against the soft hum of the air purifier. When he entered, the air shifted. "Nathan, I'm Alex. First time here." His voice was warm, laced with a faint accent, maybe Puerto Rican roots. From the way it rolled soft on the edges. I mumbled a yes, keeping my gaze hidden, but I caught his reflection in the dim light, mid-30s. Broad-shouldered in a crisp, white uniform that hugged his frame just right. Dark hair cropped close. Skin the color of caramel under the lamps. Professional. But there was a quiet confidence in his movements. Like he owned the room without trying. He started safe long strokes along my arms. Thumbs pressing into the knots with expert precision. "Breathe with me," he said. And I did. Inhaling the scent of eucalyptus oil mingling with something earthier. Like his cologne. Tension melted under his hands. Conversations flowing easy, my job. The endless rain. How New York chews you up if you let it. He shared bits of himself, a laugh about botched tattoos from his artist days. The way he traded brushes for bodies after a burnout. It felt normal. Almost too normal. Until his palms slid lower. Grazing the dip of my spine. That's when it happened. His touch lingered. Not pulling away like it should. Fingers traced the edge of the sheet. Deliberate. Electric. Dipping just beneath to skim bare skin. My breath hitched. Body betraying me with a shiver that had nothing to do with chill. "Sorry," he murmured. But his voice was low. Husky. Not apologetic at all. He didn't stop. Instead, his hands circled slower. Bolder. Thumbs pressing into the glutes with a pressure that blurred the line between therapy and temptation. I should have spoken up. Bolted from the table. But I didn't. Couldn't. The room spun with the rhythm of his breath matching mine. The forbidden heat pooling low in my belly. 60 minutes stretched into eternity. Each second a confession I hadn't voiced. When it ended, he draped the sheet back. His fingers brushing my hip, one last to me, a promise or a taunt. I couldn't tell. "Take your time getting up," he said. voice steady as if nothing had shifted. But everything had. I dressed in a daze, tipping him double without meeting his eyes, fleeing into the downpour outside. The rain soaked me through, but it couldn't douse the fire he'd lit. That night, alone in my apartment, I replayed it over and over, the weight of his hands, the way my body arched instinctively toward him. Sleep evaded me, replaced by a restless hunger I denied for too long. Who was this man who'd unlocked something primal in me? And why did the thought of never seeing him again feel like losing a limb? Days blurred into a haze of what-ifs. Work suffered sketches half-finished. Lattes spilled from trembling hands. Friends noticed, chalking it up to burnout. But I couldn't shake the phantom touch ghosting my skin. I'd catch myself zoning out, imagining Alex's hands elsewhere, exploring uncharted territories with the same unyielding care. It was madness. This obsession with a stranger who'd barely spoken 10 full sentences. Yet every night, I'd scroll back to the spa's website, hovering over the booking button like a moth to flame. By Friday, I caved. Another appointment. Same time slot. Telling myself it was just for the kink in my neck. Liar. The spa felt different this time. Charged like the air before a storm. He greeted me at the door, that smile crinkling the corners of his eyes. Back so soon. Must have made an impression. His tone teased. Light. But his gaze held mine a beat too long. Searching. I nodded. Throat dry. Following him to the room. No small talk this round. The silence thrummed with anticipation as I disrobed. Heart slamming against ribs. Face down again. Sheet in place. I waited. His approach was quieter. Footsteps deliberate. Oil warmed between his palms. The scent of sandalwood wrapping around us. He started at my shoulders. Firm and familiar. But the undercurrent was there from the first press tension, not just in my muscles, but between us. Tell me if it's too much. He whispered, breath ghosting my ear as his hands trailed down. Too much. It was everything. When he reached my lower back, there was no hesitation. The sheet shifted, exposing more, and his fingers danced along the curve of my ass, kneading with intent that sent sparks up my spine. I gasped outright this time. No hiding it. And he paused, hands splayed flat and hot against me. Nathan, he said, voice roughened. Look at me. I turned my head, meeting his eyes in the mirror across the room dark. Dilated, mirroring the storm in my chest. This isn't just a massage anymore. If you want me to stop. But I didn't. The words tumbled out in a whisper. Don't. It was surrender. The first crack in the dam I'd built around myself. He exhaled sharply. Then his touch transformed, exploring. Caressing. Boundaries dissolving like mist. His body leaned in, weight pressing against the table's edge. One hand sliding up my thigh while the other tangled in my hair. Tilting my head back for a kiss that tasted of salt and secrets. We moved like we'd rehearsed it. Urgent and unhurried. The room echoing with breaths and muffled moans. Time fractured. What was meant to be therapeutic became a revelation. Bodies entwining on that table in a tangle of limbs and longing. Afterward, spent and slick with sweat, we lay there in the afterglow, his chest to my back, fingers tracing lazy patterns on my arm. I've wanted that since you walked in last week. He confessed, lips brushing my shoulder. You have this fire in your eyes. Nathan, like you're holding back a hurricane. I laughed. Shaky. The vulnerability hitting hard. Hurricane. More like a guy too scared to admit he's drowning. We talked then. Really talked about his ex. A bad breakup that left him wary of clients. My closet full of regrets from a family that prayed away the sin in me. It was raw. Real. Two men piecing together fragments in the dim light of a spa room. He gave me his number scribbled on a business card. For more than knots. with a wink that made my stomach flip. Walking home that night, the city lights blurring through unshed tears, I felt seen. Not as the straight-passing facade I'd worn like armor, but as Nathan flawed, yearning, finally breathing free. But freedom has teeth. Monday morning, my phone buzzed with a text from Dad. Heard you're in the city still. When you bringing home a girl to make us proud? The old guilt twisted like a knife. Could I chase this spark with Alex without the world crashing down? Weeks turned into a secret rhythm. We'd meet after his shift-stolen dinners at hole-in-the-wall Takarius in the village, where his laugh cut through the din like sunlight, or lazy Sundays tangled in his Hell's Kitchen loft, sheets rumpled and coffee brewing while he sketched me in charcoal, capturing the curve of my jaw with strokes that felt like caresses. Alex was 32, a decade of city scars etched into his easy grace, orphan young. Raised by a abuela who taught him love was louder than fear, now channeling that into healing hands and a heart that mended as fiercely as it broke. With him, I unraveled told stories of high school crushes on the quarterback. The night I prayed to be fixed until dawn. He listened without judgment, his touch a balm, turning my scars into stories worth telling. But the idol cracked under pressure. My best friend, MIAA Fierce Dyke from design school, cornered me over beers one night. You're glowing, Nate. But like, suspiciously. Spill. I deflected, but her eyes narrowed. If it's a guy, own it. Hiding's just another cage. Her words haunted me as I ghosted Alex for 2 days. Panic rising like bile. What if Dad found out? The family reunion loomed. Tickets bought. Expectations heavy as chains. I showed up at the spa unannounced, uniform in hand, begging for a session just to feel his hands again. He saw through it, pulling me into the back room instead. Talk to me, he urged, thumbs circling my temples. The dam broke. I sobbed about the fear, the what-ifs, how loving him felt like stealing fire from gods who wouldn't forgive. He held me through it, strong arms a harbor in the storm. You're not stealing, Nathan. You're claiming what's yours. And if your family's too blind to see the man I dove, one who makes my world brighter, then fuck him. We'll build our own. His words ignited something fierce, a resolve hardening in my chest. That night, we made love with a desperation born of defiance, bodies slamming together in his loft, windows fogged against the indifferent city. But dawn brought reality, a voicemail from my sister. Voice tight. Dad's sick. Nate. Heart stuff? Come home. The flight to Dallas was a blur of turbulence mirroring my gut. Alex drove me to the airport, hand squeezing mine in the cab. Go. Be the son he needs. But come back to me. His kiss tasted of goodbye I couldn't bear. Home was a minefield, mom's hovering hugs, Dad pale in his recliner, preaching forgiveness from a hospital bed while eyeing me like I was the unconfessed sin. Proud of you, son. Just wish you'd settle down proper. The word proper landed like a slap. I nodded through dinners of pot roast and piety, nights in my old room staring at faded posters. Alex's texts my lifeline, miss your laugh. Thinking of that spot on your neck. But guilt festered. Was I selfish for wanting him when family needed me whole? Discharge day. Dad pulled me aside in the garage. Oxygen tank hissing softly. Something's eating you, boy. Seen it in your eyes since you left. Heart pounding. I braced. Dad, I'm gay. The silence stretched eternal. His face crumpling, not in rage, but sorrow. Knew it. Deep down. Feared it. But you're my blood. Nathan. If this is you. Love who you love. Just don't let fear win. Tears stung as he clapped my shoulder. Gruff Texan pride cracking open. It wasn't perfecto parades or pride flags, but it was enough. A bridge. Tentative and true. Back in New York, I ran to Alex, bursting into his loft with the force of pent-up oceans. He knows. And he loves me anyway. We collapsed together, laughter mingling with sobs, his hands mapping my body like rediscovering home. From there, the world expanded, introducing him to Mia over dim sum, her approving grin sealing our little family. Weekend getaways to the Catskills, where hikes turned to hand-holding under autumn leaves, whispers of forever exchanged by campfires. But life, that cruel curator, had one more twist. It came in winter, snow blanketing the city like a hush. Alex's phone rang during a quiet night and his ex, Marco, voice slurred on the line. Need help? Man, can't do this alone. Turns out, Marco had spiraled after their split, debts, depression, a relapse into old addictions. Alex's face drained of color, the healer in him warring with the man who'd been burned. I have to go, he said, voice breaking. He's family. Nate. Broken. But mine. Jealousy flared hot, irrational. Ugly, but I swallowed it, driving him to the dingy Queen's walk-up where Marco waited, gaunt and glassy-eyed. The nights blurred, Alex shuttling between us, exhaustion carving lines under his eyes. I'd wake to empty sheets, his side cold. Text at 3 a.m. Sorry. Love. He's crashing again. Resentment built. A slow poison dinners alone. Sketches gathering dust. The spark dimming under neglect. One blizzard night. I snapped. Choose. Alex. Him or us. The words hung venomous, his eyes flashing hurt. It's not a choice. Helping him is who I am. He stormed out into the whiteout, leaving me with the echo of my selfishness. Hours later, a call, accident. Skid on black ice. His car wrapped around a pole. Minor fractures, they said, but the what-if clawed my throat raw. Hospital waiting room, sterile and endless. When he woke, bandaged and groggy, our eyes met, mine red-rimmed. His softening. I almost lost you. I choked, gripping his hand. And I'd lose everything before I'd lose this. He pulled me close. Whispers fierce. Then fight with me. Not against. Marco's on the men's rehab lined up. But you. You're my anchor. Nathan. My everything. We rebuilt from the wreckage. Therapy for him. Boundaries with Marco. For me. Letters to Dad sharing snippets of our life. His replies warming from curt to curious. Spring bloomed. And with it, a deeper bond forged in fire. Tempered by grace. By summer, we stood on a rooftop in Brooklyn. City sprawl glittering below. Rings simple silver on our fingers, a private vow under stars. No grand gestures. Just us, two men who'd crossed lines. Mended fractures. Chosen love over fear. Alex's hand in mine. Steady as ever. His touch no longer a memory, but a promise. Still can't forget that first day? He murmured, lips brushing my ear. I smiled. Heart full. Good. Because it's just the beginning. In the years that followed, life wove its tapestry designs gracing billboards. Alex opening a clinic for queer youth. Hands healing bodies and souls. Dad visited once. Awkward handshake turning to a beer on the stoop. Eyes misty at the sight of us intertwined. You look happy. Son. That's all that matters. And it was. In a world quick to judge, we'd carved a space unapologetic and true. Proof that crossing lines could lead not to ruin, but redemption. His touch. I'd never forget it. It saved me. The rooftop vow lingered like a dream. But reality's edges sharpened quick. Fall brought a curveball, a job offer for me in San Francisco. Remote work turning hybrid. The kind of leap that screamed, grow or stagnate. Alex paced our loft that night. Takeout forgotten on the counter. It's huge. Nate, your portfolio deserves the spotlight. But his eyes betrayed the undercurrent distance. The ghost of Marco's chaos still fresh. We could make it work. I pressed, pulling him close, hands framing his face. Weekends. Flight shell. I'll commute on broomsticks if I have to. He laughed, but it didn't reach his soul. New York's our roots. Uproot 1. And what shakes loose? Debates stretched into dawn. Pros and cons a battlefield. San Francisco glittered with promise, tech scene buzzing. Queer haven vibes. A fresh start away from family echoes. But leaving him, it felt like amputating half my heart. We tabled it, burying under holiday lights and forced cheer. But tension simmered. Christmas with my folks was a trial dad healthier. Grilling Alex on the business. Mom fussing over Yule logs while side-eyeing our joined hands. Love's love. Dad grunted over eggnog. A milestone wrapped in gruffness. Alex squeezed my knee under the table. Anchor in the awkward. New Year's. We rang in at a queer bar in the village. Bodies pressed in the throng. His lips claiming mine at midnight amid cheers. To us. He toasted later. Champagne fizzing like hope. But January's chill brought frost, my boss's email. Deadline looming. Decide by Valentine's. It read. Panic clawed, I booked a solo trip to the Bay. Scouting lofts and vibes. Telling myself it was research. Not betrayal. Alex waved me off at the gate. Kiss lingering. Bring back fog stories. And come home. San Francisco seduced quick, rainbow crosswalks. Castro's pulse. Coffee shops alive with creators like me. Interviews glowed colleagues who got the grind. A salary bump that whispered security. Nights. I'd FaceTime him. Skyline behind me. His face pixelated but pained. Looks amazing. He'd say. Voice tight. You glowing there. Guilt twisted. Was this chasing dreams or fleeing comfort? A bar crawl solo. I flirted harmless like a cute barista's wink, but it soured fast. Hollow without Alex's heat. Dawn flight back. Resolve cracking. Valentine's. I walked in with roses and a counteroffer. Hybrid. Mostly New York. I choose us. He crushed me in a hug. Tears salting the petals. Scared me. Thinking you'd go. We made up slow. Candles flickering. Bodies rediscovering rhythms. But the seed planted doubts how long before ambition pulls one away. Spring thawed it. Projects sinking. Our worlds orbiting tighter. Then summer scorched with surprise. Alex's abuela, Rosa, announced a visit from San Juan. Mi nieto needs family. She declared over crackly line. Nerves jangled, would she bless or balk at me? Airport pickup. She enveloped him in hugs. Then turned. Sharp eyes appraising. You must be the one stealing his sleep with joy. Over Eras Khan Gandals in our kitchen. Stories flowed, her widowhood. Raising him through storms. Whispers of acceptance for hearts that beat true. By week's end. Her blessing sealed with a rosary bead necklace. Wear it for protection. Mijo. Loves the real storm. Tears flowed. In her. I saw the roots feeding his strength. Fall deep in Bonscouple's yoga. Where his downward dog drew laughs and lingering looks. Gallery openings. My art beside his sketches. A fusion of souls. But whispers of change stirred. Marco. Clean 6 months. Proposing partnership in the clinic. He knows trauma like I do. Alex confided. Excitement laced with wariness. I nodded support. But old jealousy flickered. Boundaries. Remember. Trust rebuilt brick by brick. No room for cracks. Winter whispered endings and beginnings. Dad's checkup clear. A call inviting us to Thanksgiving. Bring your better half. Progress. Bittersweet. We drove down. Highways blurring. Hands linked over console. Dinner was chaos. Aunts gossiping. Cousins quizzing. But Dad's toast cut through. To family. Blood and chosen. Alex's grin lit the room. My chest swelling. Homeward. Snow flurrying. We dreamed aloud, maybe a place upstate. Space for gardens and ghosts to fade. Yet life's script twists. New Year's Eve. A call shattered peace. Mia. Voice wrecked. Nate. It's bad. Car accident, Mom and I. She's gone. My world tilted. Grief a tidal wave. Alex held the fragments. Driving through blizzards to Jersey funeral. His quiet strength my spine. Eulogies choked. Her laugh echoing in memory's fierce ally. The one who dragged me to my first pride. In the cemetery hush. His arm around me. I whispered. Couldn't have faced this without you. He kissed my temple. We're unbreakable now. Spring healed slow. Green shoots mirroring mending. Mia leaned on us. Crashing weekends. Her fire dimmed, but reigniting over wine-fueled talks. Alex's clinic thrived. Marco a solid partner. No shadows. My designs soared. A solo exhibit in Soho, him in the crowd. Eyes proud. Summer solstice. We escaped to Fire Island. Dunes and waves washing clean. Bonfire nights. Bodies salt-kissed. Love-making under stars fierce and tender. Marry me. He murmured one dawn. Ring glinting in palma band etched with intertwined hands. Yes tumbled out. Laughter bubbling. Wedding whispers wove through fall, small. Beachside. Queer kin gathered. Vows exchanged barefoot in sand. Dad's nod from the aisle. Rose's tears blessing. Crossed that line worth every boundary. I told him later. Dance floor swaying. His touch. Eternal now. A symphony of scars and stars. In love's vast narrative. We'd written our verse raw. Redemptive. Relentlessly human. The wedding's afterglow faded into the grind of newlyweds. But joy laced the ordinary, shared commutes. His coffee black, matching mine. Sketches pinned to fridge like love notes. Yet beneath. Ripples stirred Alex's clinic booming. Late nights, charting expansions. My freelance swelling into agency offers. Balance teetered. Date nights squeezed between deadlines. One October evening. Rain lashing windows. He collapsed on the couch. Exhaustion etched deep. Pushing too hard. I said. Rubbing his shoulders, irony not lost. My hands echoing his first on me. He leaned in. Sigh heavy. Want to build something lasting. For us. For kids maybe. The word hung kids. We danced around it. Dreams of tiny feet in a home we'd make ours. Talks deepened over winter fires, adoption. Surrogacy. The queer path paved with hurdles, but hope. Imagine a little one with your eyes. He mused. Fingers tracing my palm. Heart swelled. Fears whispering, could I be the dad Dad wasn't? Breaking cycles. Spring brought action, agency meetings. Profiles drafted. The way to exquisite ache. Meanwhile, Dad's health wobbled to fall. Hip replacement looming. Come stay. Mom pleaded. Voice frayed. Alex and I packed. Turning it into a road trip south. Playlists of oldies and our anthems. Dallas welcomed wary. Hospital smells sharp. Dad grumbling through PT. Tough as nails. Like you. Alex joked. Earning a chuckle. Evenings. We'd walk the neighborhood. Leaves crunching. His hand in mine, a quiet rebellion against prying eyes. One night. Porch swing creaking. Dad cleared throat. Seen how he looks at you. Son. Steady. Wish I'd been that for your mom. Vulnerability cracked his shell. Stories spilling youthful loves hidden. Regrets buried. Don't wait to live true. He rasped. Tears blurred. Forgiveness flowed. A river carving canyons. Back north. Summer sizzled with progress. Clinic's new wing ribbon cut. My exhibit touring. But August storm hit agency call. Match found. A boy. 5. Foster shuffled. Eyes haunted in photos. He's scared. The social worker said. Needs stability. Heart raced. We dove in. Home studies a blur of interviews and inspections. First visit. Park bench neutral. Little Jamie clutched a truck. Gaze darting. Alex knelt. Toy in hand. Won a race. Laughter cracked his shell. Tiny hand in HISA preview of magic. Paperwork piled. Courts convened. Nerves frayed. Fall hearings dragged. Judges probing our fitness. 2 dad shows that work. 1 sneered. Alex's testimony burned. Love works miracles. We've crossed lines others fear. Built from it. Granted. Winter solstice. He came home, bags unpacked in a room painted blue. Our family forged. Nights of bedtime stories. His voice lulling. My arms rocking through nightmares. Daddy. He mumbled first time. Heart-shattering sweet. But parenthood's forged tempers hard. Sleepless stretches. Tantrums testing. Work sidelined. Alex's patience frayed. Clinic demands clashing. 1 midnight meltdown. Jamie wailing. We snapped words sharp as shrapnel. You're always gone. And you're buried in bottles. Door slams echoed. Silence suffocating. Dawn. Coffee cold. Apologies brewed. We're in this. He said. Forehead to mine. Team. Therapy followed. Tools for the trenches. Date nights with sitters. Jamie's art on walls. Spring bloomed fuller playground chases. His giggles are symphony. Dad visited. Cookies in hand. Grandpa rolling awkward but warm. Teach him baseball. He grinned. Glove passed down. Rosa FaceTime from the island. Lullabies in Spanish weaving threads across oceans. Summer campouts in the Adirondacks. Stars blanketing. Stories of our meeting spun into legends for tiny ears. Daddy Alex fixed Daddy Nate's hurts. Jamie asked. Eyes wide. With magic hands. I winked. Alex's blush gold. Yet shadows lingered. Marco's relapse scare. A call at 2 a.m. Alex fielded it solo. Returning hollow-eyed. Promised I'd be there. But boundaries hold. Pride swelled. Growth tangible. My agency's push for LA shoots clashed. But we negotiated trips short. Returns swift. Fall brought fever, Jamie's first school cold. Us tag-teaming tissues and tails. Families forever. Alex whispered. Rocking him. Truth etched deep. Winter holidays. Tree trimmed with mismatched ornaments. Dad's flight delayed by snow. Worth the wait. He said, scooping Jamie up. Laughter filled the loft. Once echoey, now alive. New Year's. Jamie asleep between us. Fireworks distant. Crossed into this. Alex murmured. Kiss soft. Best line ever. Dreams danced, bigger home. More hearts. In love's epic. We'd authored chapters of chaos and calm. Proof that touches linger. Transforming strangers to soulmates. Lines to legacies. Years folded like pages. Jamie's laughter the ink. 7 now. All limbs and questions. School backpack slung low. Our upstate move materializita fixer-upper in Hudson. Creaky but charming. Gardens Alex, tilled with calloused hands. Mornings. Coffee on porch. Watching him chase fireflies in dew-kissed grass. Love you to the moon. Routine etched hearts. Work balanced. My studio in the city 2 days. His clinic hybrid. Marco's steady co-pilot. Life's rhythm hummed. But undercurrents swirled. Dad's cough persistent. Checkups dodged. Spring unearthed it. Stage 2. Doc said. Treatments line like soldiers. Fight it. I urged on calls. Voice steel masking fear. Alex and I tag-teamed visits. Jamie shielded with half-truths. Dallas drives blurred. His frame shrinking. Spirit unbowed. Regret nothing. He confessed one chemo eve. For dripping. You. Sun proudest chapter. Tears hot. His hand frail in mine. Alex's stories of Bridge Puerto Rican folktales lightning shadows. Mom leaned hard. Her rock crumbling. Us her ballast. Summer scorched resolve, infusions weekly. Jamie's questions sharpening. Why Grandpa tired? Fighting dragons. Alex spun. Cape fashioned from towels. We rallied Kinmia flying in. Rose's packages of pastels fortifying. Barbecues masked the siege. Laughter defiant. Fall deep in battle, remission flickered. Then faltered. Hospice whispers crept. Us circling wagons. Come home. I begged. But he waved off. Texas soil calls last. Thanksgiving. We gathered table laden. Hearts heavy. Dad in wheelchair. Eyes bright. Stories. He rasped. Jamie on lap. Tales tumbled, my coming out. Alex's abuela wisdom. Loves crossed and claimed. Family's the real miracle. He ended. Voice fading. Dawn after. He slipped quiet. Hand in mom's. Peace etched. Grief, tsunami funeral rain lashed. Eulogy mine, he crossed his own lines. Loved fierce. Taught us same. Alex's arm steel. Jamie's small hand in ours. Winter-wrapped wounds, snow blanketing gravesite visits. Jamie's drawings taped to stone. Miss Grandpa. He'd say. Crayon skies blue. Therapy for us all. Threads mending. Spring thawed, Mia's engagement. Wedding planning a distractionist best men. Toasts to lost lights. Alex's clinic expanded. Youth program blooming. His hands healing echoes of our start. Full circle, he said, massaging my shoulders after a long day. Touch electric still. Summer solstice. Anniversary 8th. Fire Island Redix Jamie with cousins. Us stealing sands. Remember that spa? He teased. Fingers tracing spine. Heat pooled. Lovemaking urgent. Waves crashing chorus. Every day feels like that first touch. Dreams reignited. Second child whispers. Adoption files dusted. Fall brought matcha girl. Toddler fierce. Eyes like storms. Ellie arrived whirlwind. Bottles and babbles appending nights. Chaos doubled joy. Jamie big brother proud. Alex's lullabies bilingual. My sketches now doodles on napkins. Holidays hectic mom's new normal. Rosa visiting. Grandkids her son. New Year's. Babes asleep. Us toasting. To lines crossed. Lives woven. But life's cool dips dark. Marco's wedding invite. Pass circled. We attended. Suit sharp. Toast genuine his bride radiant. Alex's clap firm. Close that chapter. He confided after. Hand in mine. Trust tapestry tight. Winter's bite. Agency merger. My role V-travel spikes. Guilt gnawing. Go conquer. He urged. But I shadowed. Compromise struck. Family sabbaticals. Trips to Puerto Rico beaches bomb. Rose's kitchen chaos. Ellie's first steps on sand. Spring bloomed careers. My TED Talk on design and identity. Vulnerability raw. Alex in front row beaming. His book, Deal Memoirs of Touch and Transformation pages pouring passion. Summer storm. Jamie's school bully taunt. Weird family. Fistfight recess. Tears home. Our hearts bruised. Normal's boring. Alex coached. Clinic kids sharing stories. Pride March followed. Rainbow flags waving. His small chest puffed. We're superheroes. He declared. Fall steadied. Ellie's words tumbling. Dada hug. Melting stresses. Holidays healed. Mom's remarriage whispers. Us supportive. Rings exchanged under mistletoe. New Year's Eve. Kids conked. Fireworks framing faces. 10 years. I marveled. His touch timeless. From line cross to legacy. Dreams vast. Travels. Toasts. Touches enduring. In narrative's arc. Weed scripted saga of struggle and shine. Lines not barriers, but beacons guiding to grace. Love's ultimate rewrite. Decades mark hit like milestone. Reflections rippling. Hudson home rooted deep porch swings creaking lullabies. Gardens yielding tomatoes Alex, sauced with flair. Jamie 12. Lanky teen scouting soccer. Ellie 6. Braids flying in dress-up dreams. Mornings chaos, lunches packed. Braids battled. Us dividing duties seamless. Work wove steady, my agency's remote pivot post-pandemic. His clinic virtual arms reaching rural queers. Balance art. Not science date nights stolen. Massages mutual. Touches reigniting sparks. Spring unearthed unrest. Jamie's crush confession boy from team. Blush fierce. Like you and dad. Heart swelled. Talks tender. Books borrowed. His hand held through first awkward ask. Love's brave. Alex echoed. Eyes misty. Ellie piped queries. Can I marry a princess? Laughter lightened. Our truths normalizing. Summer camps. Him at queer youth retreat. Stories shared. Round fires our spa tale sanitized. Magic hands myth. Her ballet recitals. Tutu twirls. Us front row cheering. Fall's harvest brought harvest of hurts. Mom's diagnosis echo breast cancer early. Caught swift. Fight like your dad. I urged. Flights frequent. Alex held fort. Kids' routines rock. Chemo cycles. Her spirit sparked by grandkid visits Jamie reading comics. Ellie finger painting hope. Remission rang bells. Us toasting her warrior stride. Winter wrapped recovery. Holidays hybrid. Virtual toast with Rosa. Snowmen with scarves. New Year birthed bold. Alex's book launch, Hands of Healing. Crossing into connection, signings swamped. Reviews raving. My illustrations grace covers. Synergy soul deep. Pride season peaked. Float designs mine. Him keynote speaker. Kids waving signs, love wins. Marco's family swelled. Playdates blending histories. Past pacified. Summer escape to San Juan waves lapping. Abuela's tales timeless. Ellie conch shell whispering secrets. But autumn's chill carried cracks. Agency's expansion demand London liaison. 6 months. Temporary. Pitch promised. But uproot loomed. Alex's face fell. We've built here. Debates danced bros of adventure. Cons of fracture. Kids caught whispers. Jamie's anxiety spiking. Ellie's cling tighter. Family stays. He declared bedtime. Guilt gale. I withdrew offer. Roots reaffirming. Winter's hush healed. Sabbatical instead. Us road tripping southwest Grand Canyon echoes of vastness. Route 66 diners dishing dreams. Kids' journals filled, sketches of stars. Stories of stones. Spring re-entry soft, projects paused. Presence prioritized. Mom's clear scans. Dad's garden visits virtual. Legacy lingering. Summer solstice. Anniversary 20 ethno. Wait. Lines crossed 10 years prior. But souls synced eternal. Weight math of hearts defies clocks. Fall brought bounty. Jamie's coming out essay school prize. Pride parental swelling. Ellie's school playtree sprite stealing scenes. Us filming tears. Holidays hummed. Rosa's stateside stay. Puerto Rican Christmas melding Texan traditions. Feasts fusing flavors. New Year's. Babes Abed. Us entwined. Lines led here. He breathed. Touch tracing timelines. Infinite chapters. Yet quill quivers. Clinic grant denied. Budgets bite. Alex's stress simmered. Massages now me giving. Nots his. We'll pivot. I vowed. Grants reapplied. Winter woes, flu fells family. Quarantine's quiet. Ellie's fever dreams. Jamie's homeschool huddles. Us united. Spring vaccines victory. Gatherings ginger. Summer blooms, book tour truncated. Local loves instead readings riverside. Hands held. Fall's foliage framed fears. My health check routine shadow on scan. Biopsy booked. Precaution. Docs downplayed. But nights nod. Alex's vigil unwavering. Kids shielded soft. Benign. Relief roared embrace eternal. Together always. He affirmed. Winter warmed, Mom's survivor group. Her stories strengthening ours. Holidays healed, extended kin converging. Toasts to trials transcended. New Year's dawn. Resolutions redundant life script ours. Dreams danced, Europe echoes. Empty nests eventual. In epic's embrace. Lines crossed not curses, but catalysts igniting intimacies. Forging families. Etching eternities in touches tender script. Time's tapestry thickened. Threads tangled triumphant. Jamie 16. Driver's license fresh. Car keys jingling nerves. Ellie 10. Science fair volcanoes erupting applause. Hudson Haven held editions added. Treehouse teeming tales. Studio sunlit for strokes. Mornings meditative. Yoga flows family. Breaths sinking souls. Work waves crested. My gallery solo. Lines entwined. Canvases capturing caresses. Alex muse eternal. His podcast launched. Touchpoints. Voices vulnerable. Healing harmonics.